Hey, it's Jahara. Welcome back to my channel, to the Witchy Reader. So I'm going to be talking about the books I read in March. It's the last day of March when I'm filming this. This will be coming out tomorrow. So there is one book I do want to mention at the beginning because I'm technically not done with it yet. I started it today. It's not a very long book, and I'm already 51%. I'm taking a break. Well, one to film and two, to let my headphones charge a little bit. Um, but I definitely plan to finish it today, and I know I can because I'm already 51%. And like I said, a lot of the books in this series I can finish in a day because they're really small. Um, but that is the sixth book in Warriors. The first arc, The Prophecy Begins, is the last book in the first arc, and this is technically a reread. I read like 13 books in this series when I was 17. I was living with my friend for like 6 months, and she owned all the books. It's by the same author of Seekers. For those of you that are not new to this channel, should know my obsession with Seekers. Is the only book I put as high as Harry Potter. When I name my favorite books, those are always the first two out of my mouth. I'm not even kidding. But if you're new to this channel, then you might not know that. But yeah, I do like Warriors, not as much as Seekers, but I definitely do love the books. I think I'm rating them 4 stars. Um, but like I said, I read like 13 of them when I was 17, and then I never continued the series because I moved back to my mom's, and because of that, I wasn't borrowing her books anymore because she owned all of them. Because that's her favorite series. Uh, but I'm trying to read all of them now. I own all of them in physical except for not all of them, but like some of the newer ones I don't own yet. I bought them like a year ago, and but then we had to move, and now all my books are in bins, and I don't even remember the order of the books offhand, and I don't want to have to go through all of them. So I've just been getting them on Living Through audiobook because it's easier, and I don't have the energy to try to find the books I'm on yet. But I plan to soon, because these books seem to be wanting to be on hold for like a month before I can get them. So it's taking a while to get to these. But after I reread the ones I've already read, then I'm going to read the ones I haven't. So yeah, but I definitely plan to finish this book today, which is why I'm mentioning it. So it will be done by the end of this month. So yeah, and then I also read what did I read this month? So I didn't read this month that much. I can't speak today. That much this month, because it's been a very busy and very stressful month. But I was able to get more than I even thought I would, so I am happy with what I did read. Like I said, I'm planning to finish that book today, and then there's 4 of the books that I read. I reread Crooked Kingdom. A couple months ago, I reread Six Crows, and then I got busy and wasn't able to get to the Crooked Kingdom. But I wanted to finish my reread of this before Shadow and Bone season 2 came out, which it came out the 16th. Plus, I wanted to do a video where I um, talked about Six of Crows book references in season 1, and then I did one that I just posted yesterday, I think it was, um, of the same theme but in season 2. So yeah, a lot of research for that. So I had to reread Six Crows, and rewatch season 1, and then I obviously watched season 2 because I fell in love with it. It was awesome. So yeah, I reread Crooked Kingdom. I love this duology. It's definitely my top 5 favorite series. It's amazing. Um, then I read Game The Exile of Game of Wits, Book 3 in A Daughter's Ransom. This is an indie book. I uh, I started reading this before I realized April was indie April, which is why I'm saving the rest of my indie books that I own for April. But I wanted to read this because I actually started this. When was it? September? I think it was September because that was the month my house caught fire. And because of that, things became too stressful and I wasn't getting pretty much any reading done. And then, so I, uh, but then, actually, no, because I started this soon after because I was able to save it. Um, And then, but then, because we were staying at my dad's trailer for a little bit, for like a couple weeks before we were able to get this house, and I thought we were only taking a few things at first before we could bring everything, and I thought I brought it. I turned out to be wrong. I could, because I was too busy trying to grab a bunch of things, and I grabbed the bag that this was in, and I laid it down to grab to help my siblings, my little siblings, and then I left this by accident because everything was scatterbrained and everything. Um, but I had been trying to read this for months, you know, because I had a really bad end of last year with the fire and then my dad's passing, and I was barely reading. So I wanted to finally read this, and I'm so happy I finally did because life had finally calmed down a bit. Like I said, this month had been stressful, but well, it was later in the month. It's been stressful. Beginning of the month was fine, but I loved it. It was so good. I rated 5 stars. Wrote a review for it. Um, Asher and Luke are my favorite characters from this series. I may or may not have mentioned this. I think I mentioned this in my indie reading vlog, which I'm currently making for Indie April. I started it when I started this book, but so that won't be out until probably at the very end of April or beginning of May. So, but uh, it, Astra and Luco are the main characters in books 1 and 3, and book five when that comes out. Basically the odd numbers, and then Betty and Fane. I think I'm saying his name wrong, but are in the even numbers. But it's all the same series, all the same world, just showing different people's different areas of this war and what's going on with everyone in this world. So actually, I am excited for book 4 whenever I can get it, because I do want to see more of Faye and all of them. But Ash and Luke are my favorite characters from this world. I love them individually and their relationship. So I am so excited for book 5 whenever that gets published. I still am hoping to get book 4 and the prequel whenever I can. But I absolutely love this book. I definitely highly recommend, because of it's being kind of out of order. You can read books like 1 and 3 together, and then book 2, or book 2 and then 1 and 3. As long as you read the odd numbers in order and the even numbers in order, then you'll understand what's going on. Um, I don't know if the worlds end up colliding and coming together near the end of the series, but we'll see. But yeah, I loved it. I cannot wait for the book 5 to continue their story, and can't wait till I can get book 4 to continue Bae's story. So definitely highly recommend. Um, I also read. So I was hoping to finish to read my birthday books that were not indie books, because like I said, I'm saving my indie books for April, but I wasn't able to finish all of them. I read the first book in uh, The School for Good and Evil. I enjoyed it. I also watched the movie, and I rated this book 4 stars. I did love it, but surprisingly, I actually liked the movie more, which is so weird because I hardly ever like the movie better than the book. The book is always better. Like, let's be real. I think the only time I liked a movie better than the book was Harry Potter and the Order of Phoenix. It's the only movie that's better than the book. Don't get me wrong, there's certain scenes or details I like more in the movies than the books, but the books overall are better, except for Order of Phoenix. I will stand by that. And I'm not the only one who thinks that. I actually know one of my favorite YouTubers who mostly talks about Harry Potter says the same thing, so I'm glad I'm not alone. But that movie actually is better than the book, and I will stand by that. Moving on. Why I liked this movie better was, first of all, they improved Sophie's character. I did not like Sophie in the books. The entire time she seemed so selfish. Even at the beginning when she was trying to be this good person because she wanted to go to the school for good. But to go to the school for good, you have to be a good person. But she was always doing these good deeds. But in the end, they weren't good deeds. She wasn't doing them just to do them or to be nice. She was doing them for reward, which makes them not good deeds in the end. So I wasn't surprised that she ended up in the school for evil. But in the And she was also very selfish when it came to Agatha. Agatha was just so worried about Sophie the entire time, but Sophie was always like, "Oh, you belong here with these ugly villains." Like, she was just an awful friend, an awful person, period. Um, and her and Aggie's friendship, the point of the book was their friendship because at the end of the book, it was their friendship to save the day. But their friendship just felt so much more genuine and true and pure in the movie. Like at the beginning, it that you find out that they haven't really been friends that long, and the only reason why they even became friends in the first place was because Aggie was a good deed for Sophie, to help a girl that didn't have any friends. And even though she said that it became their friendship became true, it started out unpure. But in the movie, they improved Sophie's character um, a lot. Uh, she seemed genuinely nice at the beginning. Like she wasn't just trying to do all these good deeds just for a reward. To be fair, in the movie's version, they didn't know about the school for good or evil until someone told them the legend of it. Um, but Sophie's character, even when she was turning kind of evil for a little while there, she was just still so much more likable. Even she still got my nerves when she was evil, but that was kind of the point. I mean, in the book, she was unlikable even at the beginning when she was supposed to be good, when she was uncorrupted by evil. But in the movie, she was likable. And then their friendship, you also find out that they've been friends since they were kids, and they were really close because of that. And they had this bond that was true on both ends. Sophie cared about Aggie as much as Aggie cared about Sophie. Even it was just when Sophie was corrupted from evil when things changed and went down. And that also made me feel like the end when I also like that because in like most fairy tales you don't actually see that. You see that in the show Once Upon a Time, which is based around fairy tales, which I like. But true love isn't always between romantic, and it's not always between a man and a woman. And I really love that the true love here, because they thought the true love in the book and the movie was between Sophie and this guy she was crushing on, who turned out to end up liking Aggie more by the end. But uh, the true love was between them and their friendship, and I really liked that. And but in the movie, it just seemed more plausible because their friendship seemed true and genuine from the beginning, despite everything that happened between them and the evil corrupting Sophie. It just seemed so much more true and genuine in the movie than it did in the book. So it made more sense for their true love to be each other. But yeah, I know I'm kind of bashing the book right now, even though I did say I love it. I did. I really did enjoy it. I just like the movie book more. So, but that's just me. But I did still enjoy it. I did rate it 4 stars, so obviously I loved it. And there's like 6 books in the series. I only own the first three. I got them. A friend of mine sent me like $20, and I was able to get 4 books on thrift books. Cause thrift books, you can buy used books in good condition really cheap. And so yeah, I got the first 3 books of school. Okay, let me try that again. I got the first 3 books for the School for Good and Evil. And the first book in Bamboo Kingdom, which I also read. This is the newest series by my favorite author, Erin Hunter, who wrote Seekers and Warriors. I still need to read some of their other series. I'm trying to read all their series. Like that's the one author I will actually go out searching for all their books to read. I know I own Survivors of Braveland. I used to own Bravelands. Those books did not survive the fire, but Survivors did. I have them. I just have to find them mixed in with all my books. And like I said, that's a lot of effort that I do not have. um, but this series is very new. The third book just came out in February. Um, my birthday was in December, so um, that's when I got this, and I finally read it, and I loved it. But now I want, especially with how it ended, I want book 2 now and book 3. Those are only books. Erin Hunter's books always there's like arcs, and there's 6 books per arc. So yeah, so only the first 3 of the books of the first arc is even out, and usually there's like 2 arcs. Seekers has 2 arcs. Bravelands, I think, has 2 arcs. Survivors has 2 arcs. But Warriors has like 100 arcs. That's a little bit of an exaggeration, but it's true. um, but yeah, I absolutely loved it. And pandas are my favorite bears are my favorite animal. Um, I may or may not have showed you guys this before, but and those aren't even all my bears. Those are just the stuffed ones. I have bear figurines over there. I have bear pictures, like those pictures you can see where you move and they change pictures. I have 2 of those. One is there, one is out there. And then I have a bear dream catcher. I'm a tad obsessed. Oh, and I have that bear, which is supposed to be sit outside, but I have it in my room. It's like this giant black bear. I have a bit of an obsession. But I even have see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil, and panda bears. Yeah, I may have a problem, but I don't care. I love bears, and Seekers the is the only series that I actually read mostly because of the cover. I mean, it wasn't just because of the cover. I'll never just get a book because of the cover. I have to read the summary. It's a thing I have, but like most books, I really do not care about the cover. I know that's very unpopular, but until I joined BookTube, I never realized how pretty some of my covers actually are on my books because I never really I never really paid attention to book covers. So, yeah. But Seekers, I remember the first time I found Seekers. I was at the school library in 4th grade when my friend came up to me and was like, "Hey, I found some books with bears on the covers," and I got intrigued. So I looked at them, read the covers, sounded interesting, and they were about bears, so I had to try it, and that is history because that became one of my absolute favorite series from that point for the rest of my life, apparently. But this one isn't is also about bears, pandas mostly, and that makes me so happy because Seekers, the one bear you never met on Seekers, was pandas. Actually, there's a lot of bears you never met on Seekers, but the main bears that people know of are pandas, polar bears, black bears, and brown bears. There's a lot of bears that people don't even really know that exist. At least I don't think they do because I never hear anyone talk about them. I know too many useless bear facts, so ignore me. Um, but I absolutely loved it. It was so good. I had me on the edge of my seat. I think I finished it in like 2 days because I was busy. And I couldn't finish it in one day. Actually, no, because I started it and I only read like a chapter or two, but then I got busy and then I read the rest of the book in one day. So yeah, but I absolutely loved it. It was so good. I'm not surprised I loved it. Not only is it about bears, but it's also by Aaron Hunter, my favorite author, so I know I would love it. I rated it 5 stars. And it's about these 3 panda siblings, but they were all um separated at birth and they didn't really know about each other. I got to where 2 of them have met, and the third one is on a journey now that will help him meet the other 2. So yeah. So far my favorite character is Leaf. She is one of the pandas, and I love her. I also like Ghost, who is the male of it, because there's like 2 females and 1 male. And then there's what's her name? I forgot her name now. It starts with an R. That's going to annoy me. What's her name? Oh, Rain. Um, she was okay. She kind of got on my nerves at times, but yeah. So, and I did love it, and I cannot wait for books to be able to get books 2 and 3, and then for the rest of the series to be published because I fell in love with it. So yeah, um, that's all I read in March. I ranted a little bit, so this video became a little bit longer than I expected, but oh well. Um, so I enjoyed what I read, and I am so excited to go into Indie at April. Um, so that's like what 5 books I read this month. That's not too bad. I still haven't finished the 6th book of Warriors, but I'm going to today, like I said. So that is all. Please like and subscribe and comment what you read in March. I would love to know. Tell me if you read any of these books, if you like them. Um, and I will chat with you guys below in the comments. Until next time.